Hi everyone, this is Krishna Malagupati, working as assistant professor in EEE department, St. Peter's Engineering College. In this video, I am going to explain GTO. GTO means gate turn off thyristor. Okay, so this is same as SCR, but some difference is there. Okay, we'll see the contents of this GTO. First, we'll discuss basics of GTO. Second one, symbol which we are going to represent GTO, and its structure of GTO. Fourth one, VI characteristics of GTO, and comparison between SCR and GTO. Comparison between SCR, silicon control rectifier, and GTO. And lastly, we'll see applications of GTO. So these are my outlines, which shows the entire about the gate turn of thyristor. Right? We'll go one by one. We'll see first basics. So basics, first we'll see. It was developed in General Electric Company. First point is, it was developed in General Electric Company. The second point is, it belongs to thyristor family. It belongs to thyristor's family. Thyristor family. Okay. Then coming to next, and it is same as SCR, but small difference is SCR is a semi-controlled device, but this G2O is fully controlled device, fully controlled semiconductor device. Okay, fully controlled device that I am calling. The last one is, it is an active semiconductor device. Active semiconductor device. Right? Means only one that we can see in thyristor family, that is active semiconductor device, is G2O. Right? Next we will see the symbol of GTO. So what do you mean by GTO basically? GTO is gate turn off thyristor. And one more point that we can write here, it is specially developed. It is specially developed or designed for off purpose. Off purpose means turn off, turn on means SCR will be turned on, but G2 is made for turn off process. It is made for turn off process. Right? So indirectly saying that it is 10 times faster than the SCR. It works in off processing. After off processing condition, it works 10 times more than the SCR. Please remember that. Sometimes they may ask the question in competitive exams. Okay, what is the difference between SCR and GTO? For that, the reason is SCR is for turn-on process. It was developed, whereas GTO is made for turn-off process. right? We'll see symbol of GTO. Symbol of GTO, right? I'm taking symbol. See, we can represent this GTO in two different ways. First is, look at this. So this is my anode terminal of device. This is cathode terminal. This is cathode terminal. And this is my gate terminal. So when we see the SR is having 4 layers, 3 terminals, 3 junctions device. This is also having the same way. Our G2O is having the 4 layers, 3 terminals and 3 junctions device as same as the SR. But small difference between the SR and G2O is there is a mark for the gate terminal, right? This is gate terminal. And we can represent the symbol, represent G2O in another way also. That is, take one SR again. This is cathode, right? And this is anode terminal, and this is my gate. As same as the SCR. What happened here? There is one more line. So this indicates inwards, this indicates outwards. Means we are applying positive voltage, forward voltage, which indicates what? The direction of current into the device, means forward voltage applying. We can also use GTO. And when you see this one, arrow mark towards to outward of the outward direction to that of device, indicating what? Apply. Current is coming out from the device, which indicating the we are going to apply the negative voltage to that gate terminal of the this GTO. This is only advantage. This is the advantage of GTO as compared to SCR. So when it can be, you can observe that diagrams very clearly, that we can know the idea, right? Next we'll see structure of GTO. So structure I said same as the structure of GTO is same as the SCR. Small change we can see in case of GTO. So structure. So this is my GTO. I'm representing here. So this side is N plus, this side is P plus, right? And this is my gate terminal. So this is my gate terminal G. This is my cathode terminal, right? This is my P material. And this is N minus. This is P plus. So this is my GTO structure, right? So this one is anode terminal. How many terminals are there for a GTO? So GTO having the 3 terminals: anode, cathode, gate. And what does it? This indicates P plus, N plus, N minus, P plus. That means doping levels. Doping levels mainly. This is the way that we are going to make the dopings in GTO to carry the megawattage of power, to carry the high currents, to withstand with the higher voltage values. That's why you can see this is 10 power 90 centimeters cube. It is also 10 power 90 meters cube size, right? This will be 10 power 14 centimeter cube. Right, this will be 10 power, this is 10 power 16, this is 10 power 14. So it is common values to wherever the plus comes and wherever the minus comes. Please, it is very easy to remember these things, doping values. Okay, I tell you how to remember these values, right? Look at this. You take reference normal doping value. This p-type layer is normally doped, means at this portion the device is normally doped, means it it is 10 power 16 centimeter cube, right? So 10 power 16 is going to be reduced. The power is going to be reduced 2 times for n minus. This is lightly doped area. This is a normally doped area. Normal doped area, doped region, and this is lightly doped region. Lightly doped region. This is highly doped region. Highly doped region. One thing you should remember, whenever we are using a semiconductor device to carry the megawatt is a power or mega ampere of currents values, sorry, amperes and kiloamperes of current, then you just remember that outermost layers of the device must be highly doped. Outermost layers must be highly doped. Here also same thing happening in GTO structure. When you see outermost layers are highly doped and their size will 10 power 19 centimeter cube. Look at this. When the power is when you see the normal doping, when the power is reducing 2 times, 2 values, it is going to be reducing from 10 power 16 to 10 power 14. Means 2 power is reducing to 2 value, thereby we are getting lightly doped region. When it is increasing to 3 times, it is reduced 2 times, it is increasing to 3 times means what? It is going to be highly doped region. So remember in that way, it's a simple way to remember. One power is reducing to 2 times, power is increasing to 3 times. Okay, and another name for this one is drift layer, drift region. This is drift region also. What do you mean by drift region? Drift region is a lightly doped one where it allows the current to flow, immediately current to flow through the junctions. Okay, this is my J3 junction, this is my J2 junction, this is my J1 junction. See, whenever the battery voltage is connected across the device, what happens? We can say normally we are using it is for connection positive way, means forward biased voltage. In that case, J3, J1 junctions are forward biased, but whereas J2 is reverse biased. At the J2 junction area, it is lightly doped one. Whenever the positive supply is applied, recombination takes place across the J2 junction immediately. So it won't take that much of energy to break down the J2 junction. When you design a particular device with lightly doped area at the reverse biased junction, so that it will break down very quickly, therefore automatically allows the current to flow. For that, it is the region where it allows the current to flow immediately. Recombination takes place. For that, it is n minus region. This portion of the region is a lightly doped one, right? This is a structure. Next, we will see the characteristics of VI characteristics of G2O. VI characteristics. See, so when you know the characteristics of SCR almost the same, but what happened here? Some difference, little bit, just 10% of the difference is there compared to SCR characteristics and G2O characteristics. So these are my characteristics. So this is my VAK. VAK means voltage applied across anode cathode terminals, right? This is minus VAK, and this is minus IA. This is plus IA. What do you mean by IA? IA is anode current. Anode current which is flowing from anode to cathode. Okay. So when you apply the right, look at this, the connection. Just use the same structure here, right? Use the same structure. So I'm going to connect. I'm just roughing these all these things, right? Look at this. Look at this. When you connect negative to the cathode of the device, positive of the battery is connected to the anode of the device. This is my, I'm saying VAK. And here also same thing, positive is connected to gate of the device and negative is connected to the cathode. Okay, these are my connections for positive characteristics, positive side characteristics, that is first quadrant operation, right? So these are the characteristics that you can see in case of SCR also. So initial voltage drop will be there. So these are the drop value. Still, forward breaker voltage comes automatically. What happened? It is going to be comes into on state like this. So these are the my SCR characteristics, same as SCR characteristics. So for gate voltage 0, even the gate voltage 0 at some forward breaker voltage applied across the anode cathode, automatically it comes into on state from its forward blocking state. What we call this DC voltage? Forward breaker voltage. Once forward breaker voltage occurs, automatically this G2O comes into on state from its forward blocking state. I am calling this as forward blocking state. Forward blocking state where some leakage current is flowing through the device due to the minority carriers in the device. What do you mean by minority carriers and what do you mean by majority carriers? So in p-type material, majority carriers are holes, minority carriers are electrons. In n-type material, majority carriers are electrons and minority carriers are holes. Due to electrons and holes acting as a minority carriers in different materials, will able to drive some current in the device even though it's not in conducting state, that the current is called leakage current. During this forward blocking state, some leakage current is flowing through the device, which we can call leakage current in the forward blocking state. Means what? It doesn't, still it is not conducting. Then what happens once its forward breaking voltage is over, automatically it comes into conducting state. This current is called holding current and this current is called latching current. We know the difference between holding current and latching current. We already discussed about them in SCR. Holding current is latching current and holding current. There is a relation between these two, and we can say latching current is 2 times more than the holding current. This is the bit is a weight competitive weight that we can see in different competitive exams. So these are the things, and when we are applying gate signal, then what happens? This forward breakout voltage will comes earlier. This is the position for Ig1. Let us call Ig1. This is for Ig2, and this is for Ig3, and this is for Ig4. If you goes on increasing voltage across this gate and cathode terminal, automatically what happen? Then there is a Z junction will breaks down earlier and allows the current to flow as much faster as the voltage increasing. Right? This is the way this is. What is the condition here? This is Ig3 greater than Ig2 greater than, this is Ig4 now. Ig1 and Ig4 is greater than Ig3, like this. So we can see forward condition, forward state, and this is the conducting state of the SCR, conducting state of the G2, same as SCR. Right? When we see reverse bias condition, reverse bias condition means when you apply the reverse voltage across the anode and cathode, then we'll get characteristics like this. After avalanche breakdown occurs, means maximum amount of reverse voltage through anode and cathode is applied. Automatically, there is an avalanche breakdown occurs, means which we can call reverse breakover voltage. Reverse breakover voltage occurs, and then immediately whatever the reverse bias junctions are there in the device are going to be damaged. There is no breakdown, you can say. If that much of voltage is applied, automatically reverse bias junctions J3 and J4 is going to be damaged directly. Due to that, what happened? What we call that avalanche breakdown occurs and allows the current to flow. Thereby, high amount of current is going through the device, but exactly same. There will be no device after applying this much of voltage. That's why in practical we couldn't apply that much of reverse voltage across the device. Okay, and coming to the operation, important operation of gate signal here, gate terminal. Then, as I said, as I given in the symbol, this is my anode and this is cathode, right? And this is my gate, right? This is a symbol of gate. This I given like this. So right now I applied this value. Okay. After that I am going to apply this reverse voltage across the cathode. Why should reverse voltage across gate? Why do you want to apply that value? Because the G2 is made for turn-off process, not for the turn-on process. It is not feasible for the turn-on process. It is very much feasible for the turn-off process. Okay, how do you make the device into off state from its conducting state? In case of SCR, this is option. Why? Because by applying gate signal, we can bring the SCR into conducting state, but we couldn't bring that. Conducted SCR back to the forward blocking state. That was the option in case of SCR. That's why to bring back the SCR from its conducting state to the forward blocking state, we are using different types of computation methods. Okay, computation process means what? To bring the SCR from its on state to forward blocking state is nothing but computation process. But when you use the GTO, don't require any external circuit to bring back the device into the forward blocking state, right? So if you use this one, then what happened? I'm trying to apply negative voltage across, negative voltage across gate and cathode. Instead of connecting positive of the battery to gate and connecting negative, now I am connecting negative. Okay, like this. This is plus, this is minus. If I apply like this, then what happened? Automatically, what happened? Initially, the characteristics are shifting like this. Characteristics are shifting like this, and it will bring back to forward blocking state very easily. See, so that the arrow marks. This is dotted line indicating reverse voltage applying across gate cathode terminals, right? So these are the characteristics to remember. This portion is very important. This portion will decide the operation of both the SCR and GTO. Difference, it is showing some difference. Next we'll see the comparison of SCR and GTO. So very important comparison that we are taking among few factors where there are advantages of GTO. We are collecting some idea. We are collecting we are going to show some. We are going to get some idea. That is comparison between SCR and GTO. SCR and GTO. Okay. So I am taking here parameter and SCR, then GTO, right? And the ratings of SCR is, it is 6000 volt, means 6 kV voltage rating, and I am taking current value is 150 ampere. So same rated GTO I am taking 6000 volt, 150 ampere current rating. Okay. So first parameter that I am taking is on state voltage drop. First point is on state voltage drop. So write them very clearly. On state voltage, it is not on state voltage, it is on state voltage drop. Voltage drop. If the device comes to on state, what will be the voltage drop across the device that indicating, right? So it is 1.5 volt for SCR and it is 3.4 for GTO. 1.5 volt for SCR 3.4 volt for GTO. Please remember that, right? And coming to next one, turn on time of SCR. Sorry, turn on time. Turn on time. Turn on time. Turn on time. 8 microseconds for SCR, 2 microseconds for GTO. 8 microseconds for SCR, 2 microseconds for GTO. Right? And next, turn on gate current. Turn on gate current. Turn on gate current. Turn on gate current. It is 200 milliampere for SCR, 200 milliampere for SCR, but it is 2 ampere for GTO. Means what? Turn on time, there is a disadvantage for this GTO, whereas it is advantage for SCR. That's why SCR is designed for turn on process, and I already given that. Right? Next one, turn off time. Turn off time. Turn off time. So turn off time is 150 microseconds for SCR, 150 microseconds for SCR. It is 15 microseconds for GTO. It is an advantage, big advantage using GTO, right? Next, last we will see operating frequency. Operating frequency. Operating frequency. Operating frequency. Okay, it is 100 Hz. Okay, it can be used for up to 100 Hz. Okay, this can be used for 100 kilohertz. Okay, 100 kilohertz or 1 kilohertz. 100 kilohertz is not 100 kilohertz. It is for 1 kilohertz. Right? So these are some parameters that we can compare both SCR, where the advantage of GTO basically there is a huge advantage here at the gate turn off. Gate turn off. Okay. So next we will see the applications of GTO, where we are using this GTO. Okay, in industrial applications, in domestic commercial applications. So we'll see applications finally. Applications. So applications, first of all, AC drives. In AC drives we are using for switching purpose, right? Second one, DC choppers, okay. And third one, DC circuit breakers, right? And fourth one is induction heating. We can use this GTO in induction heating also. Induction heating, right? These are the few important applications that we can see this type of devices for turn-off process, right? ETC. Few more will be there, but so remember these things. These are the main applications where we are using GTO. In the next class, we'll see some other switching devices. Okay, thank you.